Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Alia Nazira binti Rosmin, and I am delighted to be here today to talk to you about investigations and charges of money laundering cases under Amlatfa, which is the enforcement of Malaysia Central Bank. I'd like to give you some background information about money laundering. First and foremost, Amlatfa 2001 described money laundering as the act of a person who engage either directly or indirectly in a transactions that demand proceeds of illegal activity. In addition, money laundering is perceptible for the variety of its form compared to another types of crimes. Furthermore, launderer basically employs based on three basic levels in laundering activities such as placement, layering, and integration. The first level in laundry activities is placement. In this stage, it exposed to uncertainty and International Journal of Economics and Management 544 discovery where the funds can definitely be linked to the criminal emergence. Moreover, the second level is layering, which in this level provide the reason of hiding the illegal cash emergence and to make it seem lawful. For the final stage, which is integration, is the launderer usually converts the criminally acquired wealth into lawful funds with no obvious connections to their illegal activities. These three levels would empower the launderer to uncover the money trail and make it hard for the authority to trace the sources. Furthermore, the International Monetary Fund, which is 1998, approximates the total size of global money laundering is between 2% and 5% based on world's gross domestic product, which is GDP. Besides, this percentage stipulates money laundering reached about USD 590 billion to USD 1.6 trillion. According to the latest statistic, Malaysia now stands at number 5 in the world with an illegal funds outflow of USD 291 billion under Global Financial Integrity Report of Washington 2013. Every week, Depart Malaysia receives around 25 millions of illegal money through money laundering. In Malaysia, the increasing number of money laundering activities is because of lack of awareness of the pertinent legal institutions in the conflict against money laundering. In addition, companies and individuals were prosecuted in Malaysia around 94 money laundering cases at numerous levels that involve proceeds amounting to 1.2 billion, which is under Malaysia Insider 2010. Moreover, Bank Negara Malaysia has been appointed by the Minister of Finance as the qualified authority in counter money laundering activities. Furthermore, according to the statistic by Bank Negara Malaysia, which is BNM, from the year 2011 to 2013, the amount investigated for money laundering crimes by Malaysian law enforcement authorities stood at 13.1 billion. Besides, the suggestions set by the FATF were used as the global policy benchmark for anti-money laundering measures. As an attempt to restrain the escalating money laundering, the Malaysian authorities pursue making further adjustment, and AMLA was amended with special suggestions on terrorist financing, and the Act at present as referred to Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act Amlatfa 2001. This act provides the ability to seize and freeze any property that been suspect to any involvement in money laundering activity. To overcome against the increasing number of money laundering activities in June 2014, Bank Negara Malaysia managed to put Amlatfa 2001 through the Houses of the Parliament. Amlatfa 2001 adjustments that known as Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001 were formed to verify that the act pertinent and essential in restraining terrorism financing threats and money laundering activities. Moreover, these adjustments were seeking an authorized effective prevention through penalties and retribution. On the other hand, Bank Negara Malaysia website utilized the acts in lawful action against the financial crimes which Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act 2001, which is Amlatfa 2001, Banking and Financial Institutions Act 1990, which is BAFIA 1990, Money Services Business Act 2011, which is MSBA 2011, the Exchange Control Act, which is ECA 1953, and the Money Changing Act 1998, which is MCA 1998. For instance, the cases imposed for breach the Amlatfa 2001 will encounter with a penalty of not exceeding 5 million or imprisonment not more than 5 years or both. Besides, under Section 25(1) of BAFIA 1990, there is a money laundering cases that being charged with a maximum penalty of 10 million or up to 10 years imprisonment. For the source of detections about money laundering activities, all of the members of an organization or society should alert, especially when there is a doubt rise up concerning a transaction. Clarifications must give due to the rational suspicions, and such clarifications should be cautiously considered either they are reasonable by the law society, which is an independent professional body for lawyer. For instance, if there is a suspicions about a bank transaction, Bank Negara Malaysia, which is BNM, will ask the banks to disclose the suspected transactions on a reasonable ground. Other than that, if public has a grounded doubt on transactions or business conducted by suspected companies, the public could lodge complaints or reports to the enforcement bodies such as Polis Diraja Malaysia, which is PDRM, and Bank Negara Malaysia. Furthermore, the nature of money laundering cases in Malaysia is commonly utilized high-risk investment, which is gold investment that promises higher in return, which is profits. These situations will captivate extreme numbers of people who want to get money in fast and easy ways. Table 1 shows the information regarding the relationship between the variables. To be concluded, 40 out of 58 cases observed by Bank Negara Malaysia, which is BNM, has been decided. Also, 8 out of 22 cases observed by public been decided by the court. Meanwhile, there are still 32 of the cases that are under ongoing investigation and conducting. Next, we move on to the Table 2. According to Table 2, it shows that the chi-square test result for cross-tabulations of detection, sources, and cases status. Moreover, the Pearson chi-square tests were conducted to test whether there is a relationship between detection sources and cases status. The outcome shows that there is an insignificant association between two variables. To be concluded, the nevertheless of the source of the detections that comes from the result, whether from the reporting agencies or public, Bank Negara Malaysia, through its FIED, will take all the reports into account and scrutinize the case. Next, we move on to the Table 5. Table 5 above shows the listed companies that being investigated and charged by the Bank Negara Malaysia, which is PNM under Amlatfa 2001 and BAFIA 1990 because of involving in money laundering activities. So, we move on to the first case. The first case was JNS Sendirian Berhad. This company selling a clone versions of a fuel-saving products. Moreover, Bank Negara Malaysia had started off an observation under Section 25 of BAFIA and Section 4 of Amlatfa 2001 in July 2007. The JNS Sdn Bhd was dubbed of carrying out an illicit business of selling cloned versions of the fuel-saving products and raided by Bank Negara Malaysia, which is BNM, on 17 July 2007. The directors need to pay fines between 21 million to 29 million, and the company itself also fined up to 3 million. Based on counts, the court pronounced that both directors need to be imprisonment for 6 years jail time under BAFIA 1990, meanwhile face 4 years jail time under Amlatfa 2001, each to count 106 counts for the first director. Besides, the second director was punished under BAFIA 1990 with 4 years of jail time and 2 years of jail time under Amlatfa 2001 with 83 counts. So we move on to the second case. The second case was NTS Sdn Bhd. This company has been operating for 25 years and known as an advertising company instead of travel agency. This company was raided by Bank Negara Malaysia on 13 October 2008 after being dubbed by managing illicit deposit taking amounting to 100 million and laundered a sum of 59 million. Hence, the director and his daughter were fined 1 million and 500,000 each, while the company itself was fined 5 million. By conducting an illicit deposit taking, the director was punished to 2 years jail time and another 3 years for money laundering activities. Other than that, the first daughter was imprisoned for 2 years for money laundering and an additional year for illicit deposit taking. Meanwhile, for the second daughter, also sentenced to a year jail of time for guilty of money laundering accusations. Next, we move on to the third case. The third case was JNM Sdn Bhd. This company is one of the biggest cases that being investigated by Bank Negara Malaysia that involving in 5.5 billion of money. In October 2012, this company were raided by Bank Negara Malaysia with the other AML regulators, which is the Ministry of Domestic Trade Cooperative and Consumerism, Companies Commissions of Malaysia, and the Royal Malaysian Police. Besides, this case still under ongoing trial as the offenders adjure not guilty of 913 counts of money laundering and 10 illicit deposit taking charges that presuppose 5.5 billion. Based on the discussion of the three cases shows that Malaysia is capable enough to fight against the money laundering activities. According to the cases discussed above, this observation, International Journal of Economics and Management 522 realized the vital role of Bank Negara Malaysia to overcome the transactions that take place all the time in Malaysia. In a nutshell, this study intentional to investigate the extent of money laundering cases, specifically those examined by Bank Negara Malaysia. Other than that, these cases were listed and charged under Amlatfa 2001 and estimate the effectiveness of Bank Negara Malaysia, which is BNM, to overcome against money laundering. Furthermore, the cases were started off by both reporting agencies, including Bank Negara Malaysia and public. Also, the duration period taken to pursue the cases were examined. In addition, financial institutions and companies were advised to follow the AML specifications as stated in the regulations and standards. To avoid any doublers, all business must track and keep proper records of all transactions. Government should advocate programs that raise awareness towards money laundering and financing of terrorism to educate public on money laundering. Last but not least, human resources should continuously revise and distribute together, investigate and conduct the cases so that Bank Negara Malaysia will be more effective in handling cases and improve from time to time. That's all from me. Thank you and have a nice day.